We don't show prep. So, so he had no idea.
I just barely make it in.
I'm sure you can tell, but we don't show.
I mean, let's put the cards down on the table here.
Miami Hurricanes, yeah. You know the name already. It's Mercy, ha ha. It's a 6-ring Kane show. Can't forget the name though. Got Jazz, Blue, Vish, and DJ break the game code. Ain't no changing them, ain't no breaking them. Real Portland live from the Hard Rock Stadium. Ball 14 for the orange and green. We see the 6-ring champs. It's more than a dream. This is life on the field. Beyond 100 yards, a hurricane that's never still put a damage to your squad. The 6-ring Kane show. The 6-ring Kane show. The 6 Rings Kane show. You know.
What's wrong with us? Seriously.
What's wrong with us? We're Miami Hurricanes fans.
Welcome to the 6 Rings Kane Show, a show dedicated to Miami Hurricane sports, featuring the legendary Larry Bluestein, Jazz Santana, Vish, and Danny Gillette. Let's go Canes.
Yo, what's going on, man?
What is up? I hear screaming children in the background over here. So
yeah,
I'm still in Miami, as you can tell. How's it going, man?
Good,
new,
man.
New homeowner.
Happy
Thanksgiving. New homeowner here.
Wait, listen, here we go. Less light. I'm on the struggle bus a little bit. I think we all are. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching the pregame show. We do appreciate it. I know it's a lot of you probably are still in bed just chilling, so this is a good opportunity for you to get on and watch us as the Canes get set to take on Boston College today for the last game of the regular season. Man. They're up in Boston, and this is an opportunity for Miami to end the season on a high note and go into bowl season with a shot at playing in the decent bowl against a decent team. I think that a 7-5 Hurricanes team will potentially play a mid-tier SEC team. Not going to name any names or anything like that, but we'll see what happens.
Well, unfortunately, the mid-tier you're potentially referring to is too mid to qualify for a bowl game at this point. So unless they upset FSU tomorrow, we will not be seeing that team.
All right, they play the number 5 team in the country tomorrow.
Yeah, they got to win that to be eligible. So,
oh boy, it's going to be crazy. Anyways, a lot of college football on today. Actually, some really good games. Oregon State play. I think Iowa and Nebraska, although that's going to be like a 9-6 game probably, and some other really good games out there today. So, but
shout out to Gus.
Most important. What's up, Goosey? Love you, kid. Yeah, it's potentially, but it's none more important than this one right here. Look, it's not a terrible. I know we spoke about it at the beginning of the season. We thought, Boston College, all right, to end the season, that's good. We get a team that's going to struggle really bad. They're not terrible this year, right? They're
6-5 also, yeah.
Right. So they've got a good quarterback in Castellanos. The kick. You know what? No, Castellanos.
I was about to say, man, what are you doing here, dude? We're in Miami.
Yeah.
Castellanos.
It's not Castellanos. Okay.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
But he's a solid quarterback. They've got a decent little run game over there. It's a hard-nosed, it's a Big Ten football team playing in the ACC, basically.
Well, we're trying to be that, so
it
should be a fun game.
It should be it's going to be like a 10-7 game also potentially, especially if they're playing in the cold weather. So,
it does look. I don't know if you've seen shots of from people at the game. It's sunny. It looks like a good day to play football.
Nice. I have seen. Yeah, it does look like a nice game, but it's going to be a little cool. So I don't know if that's going to affect them too much. This is a different team, so. It doesn't play into it. If anything, it plays into our advantage, right? If it gets too cold and you don't want to air it out, You got one of the best.
I don't think either team wants to air it out though at this point. So I think we're gonna get a car crash of a game in terms of both teams just slamming the ball into each other. So
let me ask you this, Vish, right? Because obviously the last game of the season, opportunity. I mean, we should win this game, but who the hell knows?
Well, let's not say that. Let's just say
Are you? Does it change your mindset of this team if this is a 6-6 game team going into a bowl game rather than a 7-5? Are you like, all right, this season was a complete disappointment at 6-6 as opposed to 7-5? Disappointing, but trending in the right direction. I still think this team is trending in the right direction, but a 7-5 record looks a lot better than 6-6. If you ask me.
Yeah, I don't know that it necessarily like long term matters, but I do think for now it does. Like you said, it gets you to a better bowl game, create a little momentum going into the offseason. I mean, we lost 3 games in a row at this point, so you don't want to end the year like losing 4 in a row and then going to a bowl game potentially without a quarterback.
Right. Well,
and go 0-5 to end because this team was 6-2. So coming in at 6-6 after being 6-2 is not. It's not where you want to be.
Who's your starting quarterback?
I mean, it's going to be one of the. It's going to be. I'm assuming there's going to be some direct snapping to Burchard as well as the walk-ons. I don't even know who the walk-ons are now. But it's gonna. It's. I mean, it's looking like that's probably going to be the. I mean, I think this is probably TVD's last game. I think he'll be in the portal, and then. And we don't know what's going on with Jakari, and if he's in the portal too, then
or
we don't have a quarterback.
Or if he just doesn't want to play because
I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with that whole like he is not allowed to take a snap thing, but like he's not in the portal. He's got to play the whole game if TBD is like you can't not have a quarterback. But
I'll tell you what,
it wouldn't be surprising if both are in the portal, in which case you literally don't have a quarterback. So
I think that the only way that he stays, if you ask me, this is my hot take for the night, for the day, is I think the only way he stays in Miami is if he gets some playing time today. If he's in there in some certain packages where we get to see him. Well, obviously TVD's going to start, right? But that's the only way I see it, honestly.
Do you think it's his decision to have not played, or do you think it's the coach's?
I think initially it was. This is obviously I don't
neither of us know what that. I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks. We don't know what's going on with Chicago.
I think initially it was, and then at that point the coaches were like, well, then that's it. I just but then a whole bunch of things happened after that, right? You had the TVD injuries, the TVD terrible play, and then you had Emery now that gets hurt and all this stuff, and you're still not seeing him. So I think that at this point it was just kind of like, well, you say you didn't want to play, and that's if you think about it, it's a bit. I guess you could say it's a bit childish or immature of the coaching staff if that's the way they're approaching. I don't think they are, because I think the staff is a little more professional than that. But at this point, maybe he's just saying, yeah. At this point, listen, man, I'm done one way or the other. I don't want to potentially get hurt and go into the portal hurt. So then obviously his prospects. Get a little bit,
If he's planning on being in the portal tomorrow, right, then there's no way he wants to go into this game. So
I don't know, man. It's a weird situation.
The whole thing has been weird. Like I said, I don't really have a good answer either in terms of what's going on there. But I do think there's a distinct possibility we do not have a quarterback for the bowl game.
Yeah.
Which is, and the reason I brought that up is win this game today.
Yeah, unless you want to bring back Vinny Testaverde Jr. or something like that. If he
got eligibility left, we'll suit him up.
No, N'Kosi Perry's already playing pro football, so we're screwed there.
No, but I think the way if TVD plays the way he did last week, we'll be fine today. He played really well last week, so hopefully he can continue that this week because that definitely gives us the best chance to win. Is him playing?
Well, not only that, if he plays really well, he's probably not going to play in the bowl game either. Right? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think either way. I mean, everyone kind of ripped him for being non-committal this week, which I don't know what you expect him to do at this point. And by the way, if you say, "Oh, I'm coming back," they all would have like, "Oh, no way, get this kid out of here." So I just think there's no win for him there. I'm sure he's going to evaluate.
He ain't coming back to Miami, buddy. Unfortunately,
yeah, no, he's gonna. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know exactly what people expect him to say when he was asked about that this week. He's obviously not going to be here next year, and so, but he's not going to come out and say it the week before the last game. He's going to wait till the season's over, then say it. So, yeah, but I think they'll both. I think he'll definitely be in the portal, and there's a pretty decent chance Jakari is as well. So, in which case, neither of them will probably be here for the bowl game. So
it's just look. By the way, what's up, Hip Down? Always a fan of the show.
Yep.
Look, to me, it's a sticky situation. Look, we all know what's happening, right? In about 12 days, 11 days, the transfer portal opens up again. Okay, and it's going to be a madhouse. And I guarantee, we all know, we're not stupid, right? There's so much back channeling going on right now for the past couple of months. You're seeing some big time, potential prospects entering the transfer portal already. Will Rogers played, and like a couple hours later, they played in the Egg Bowl yesterday against Ole Miss. And a couple hours later, he declared for the transfer portal. Like it was on Twitter yesterday. Will Rogers, the quarterback for Mississippi State. Then you had the kid from Texas Tech, Tyler Schaff, or however you want to pronounce his last name, who played for Mario at Oregon like 3 or 4 years ago. We'll talk about that now, Pim. Whatever, I don't know what the hell happened. He transferred last year, so he's at
that was an Enos spectacular. That dude should not have ever been a Miami quarterback, but anyway.
But yeah, I mean, so you had that kid transfer as well as another big time prospect when he came out. And you're going to have so much movement in the next 2 weeks. And so it's going to determine a lot what happens with the quarterback situation in Miami as well. I'm sure there's a red look. It is what it is, man. There's back channeling everywhere, every school.
Yeah. And they're going to need multiple.
They're going to need multiple quarterbacks regardless, I think.
Yeah. Because again,
this is what happens. My bad. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
I think if you see JB play either today or in the bowl game, okay, this is where I think he could stay potentially if he plays, and he shows you that we've got a really good shot. Like he's talented, right? He goes out there, he plays really well. There's a good opportunity for him to come back and be a starting quarterback here. Then what I think Miami does is maybe they go after like a grad transfer guy, right, to back him up in that sense, or to compete with him, sure, but it's a grad transfer guy. I think if he shows that he's just not it, there's nothing there, he's regressed, he's the same quarterback as before, then I think you see Miami go after a top tier guy in the transfer portal and maybe potentially a grad transfer. There's been talk as well, and I know Flo has mentioned this on his show a couple times, so shout out to Flo and the Miami Flo team over there. He always has some great information, so you guys definitely want to check him out. He also mentioned that this whole Judd Anderson project quarterback thing was, kind of before he actually decided to transfer. So what happened? Judd was playing for a smaller school in Georgia. He apparently this year transferred to one of the bigger, better schools in the whole country. I don't remember the name of the high school. Someone in the chat probably can mention it, and so we were like, all right, well, now we're going to see if he's the real deal or not. And he went out there with that team, and he completely balled out. Like he was a completely different guy. So now the consensus on Judd Anderson is he may not be such a huge project after all. If he's going out there playing for one of the top teams in Georgia and producing and playing really well, maybe you're onto something with this kid, right? They obviously just offered Cedric Bailey as well, but that was a kid that they needed to offer. Right? If you wanted any shot at JJ over there and some other guys at Chaminade, he's a good quarterback. He's committed to NC State. He's a possible flip candidate, but he's also a guy that needs some time to develop. So now you got two of those guys potentially. We still have to get some older guys.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at too. This is obviously assuming TBD is done after today, which
right,
99.9% he's not here after this game. Then I think you need two potential ready-to-play starters in addition to Emory, Judd Anderson, anyone else that's coming in at a high school. You need two guys that are like, all right, these two guys could start, because Emory was a project, and I know he competed, but it was not ready from a quarterbacking standpoint. It was pretty obvious.
Right.
If you look at his play over those two games, where we stayed in the game because He was competing his butt off, but it was not good quarterback play, and it was not his fault. He was put in there because TVD was injured in one instance and just playing like crap in the other, and there was never any intention that Emory would have to play.
You saw the potential,
against,
though, right? You saw him play.
Yeah. No, he just still needs work, and unfortunately, with his injury, he's not going to have time. They're saying he should be ready for spring ball. We'll see. He really need these bowl practices, right? He would have been the man. You got to understand. He would have been prepping and starting against Louisville, and frankly, would have played way worse than TVD. But that's matter because at that point, you're thinking to the future, right? He would have practiced this whole week, got another road start against Boston College, taken all of the bowl practice reps, played the bowl game, and at that point, have another couple of month and a half of development in real situations. Maybe then he's better prepared to start next year as an option. You would still need to go get a grad guy or, like you said, a seasoned player in the portal anyway to compete. But at this point, it's hard to see him missing all this time, coming back ready to potentially be a starter next year, which in my mind means you need two potential starters. Because one of the issues we ran into this year wasn't just, TVD got hurt, and then when he came back, he didn't play well. Right. But also there was no other option on the roster. And just bringing one transfer guy, to me, just puts you in the same boat again next year. So like you said, if Jakari has developed and they think he's a starting option, then that's a different story. I have a feeling he'll be in the portal too, to be honest. But if he's back and they're like, oh no, Jakari can start next year potentially, then maybe it is just one guy. Right. But if you're thinking he's gone or he's not a viable starter, you need two guys on top of Emory.
What is that?
I don't know. Hold on.
Where was it? Bring it back.
I can't do it. I can't do it again. I don't. It's the Mac operating system.
Oh, that was so awesome.
Let's go Canes. Yep. Sometimes this happens to be occasionally, but it's hard to actually make it happen.
Awesome.
Yeah, Matacha transferred a few years ago. In fact, I did look up the walk-ons this night, but I think you got Emory, you got Judd. Any other freshmen, you need two guys on top of that.
Absolutely.
If one of those is Jakari, then you need one guy on top of that. So just looking at so these are names.
Oh my god.
All right, so this is who else. We actually have another 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Aristides Angelo Jr.
Aristides?
Yeah. Ripley Luna.
Oh, that's the kid. That's the walk-on transfer. Him and his brother.
from Idaho.
Yeah. He's supposedly a really good player, though. I mean,
come on, man.
I know. He's young though, but
Joe Borchers.
Oh, that's the kid. That's the kid right there.
And then Jaden George.
Right.
Jaden George is a 5th-year senior, so the other ones are all freshmen. So
it'd be Jaden George if you ask me.
Yeah, he's probably we might see some Jaden George action in the bowl game. Although we'll probably.
What happens if Jaden George throws for like 300 yards and like 3 touchdowns? What happens?
Unfortunately, he's a 5th-year senior, so
that's right.
Actually, I mean, this is messed up, dude, because these guys are all wearing the same number.
Fire Mario Cristobal. Why didn't he start Jaden George?
2 of them are wearing 18 and 2 of them are wearing 19. So I don't even know how this works on the stash. But there are 4 guys that are listed as quarterbacks that could potentially play a full game.
Wow.
Shout out to Ralph. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I'm assuming this is a Mario Troll post. We'll see where we are in a few years.
I mean, look, let's be honest, right? We kind of said the same thing about Mike Norville. They were like, keep him after he won 3 games the first year and 5 years, 5 games the second year. But nobody's talking about that over there anymore. So
yeah, I'm comfortable with the trajectory of the program.
Yeah, I'm all right. So if anything, maybe we will do it. Let's get it then.
Yeah,
we will.
Yeah, you might get it.
You might get it. What does Doctor you say? No?
I mean, someone's played the bowl game, dude. So we have 2 18s and 2 19s as our walk-ons, but someone's played the bowl game. So I don't know which ones.
Right. That's funny. Put over
the number 37 over them. They don't know who it is. I will say number 9 should be available, so if someone wants to switch to that.
Speaking of that, did you notice something? Was it just me, or did Jake Lichtenstein change his jersey number now all of a sudden? He played the whole game against Louisville wearing number 86, with his name in the back of the jersey. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did notice that, and that's why I was like, "Who the f is 86?" I remember asking people with me at the game, and then I realized it was him, and I'm like, "What is happening?
What the hell happened there? What happened to 55?
Maybe his jersey got messed up, and he took. I'm just seeing who's actually 86 is Fred Potter, a punter.
Okay.
So
yeah, but his last name was on the jersey too.
Yeah,
so
no, maybe something happened with his jersey, and they just had to.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Anyways, I mean, that is what it is. Whatever.
No, I definitely noticed that. So I was like, "Who was 86?" And we pulled the roster up, and it was like a punter, and we're like,
So
we're putting a punter in a defensive line now. This is where we're at.
That would be then. I wouldn't like the trajectory we were.
Yeah,
at.
Then we'd have to have a conversation about Mario for that. Then
nothing against him, but if we had
although if he can throw, quarterback might be an option in the bowl game.
Nothing against him, right? Shout out to him, but if we have another Brian Monroe situation, then we got a problem. Okay.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That was when the Coker era was dying. Brian Monroe was playing receiver.
He caught a ball. Didn't he catch a ball?
I don't know if he caught a ball. He was definitely playing receiver, and everyone's like, "Wow, our punter's so athletic." I'm like, "You don't see a problem here?
Yeah.
Why do we have a punter playing?"
I can understand like a safety switching the linebacker or running back to linebacker or something like that.
If you recruited poorly enough that your punter's making the depth chart, you've got a problem.
Yeah, I would say so. All right, so getting back to BC a little bit. This is before we get on out of here.
Well, this is a big game for them too. Their coach has been, I think he's safe now with his job. It looks like he was probably gone earlier in the year, but like we said earlier, they're bowl eligible. Yeah. So
they're a tough team too.
They're tough. They play physical.
They had FSU on the ropes for a little while as well.
Yeah, it took them down to the end. Yeah.
So I think that you got to play tough. You got to play hard here. You can't let down thinking, well, this is a.
Are you at all concerned about our team's, mental focus?
No, I'm not. I think that last year or the year before I would have been.
I mean, last year we would go get killed by 30. Like that team quit.
We'd probably lose this game. I think this team is always focused. I know. I heard someone mention earlier that earlier in the week that this team is not ever mentally prepared. I think they've been mentally prepared every single game.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They have some slow starts, but that happens, man. That's football, right? It's not for them being flat per se or them, not being mentally ready for a football game. I just think it has to do with sometimes, lack of execution. That is the biggest thing, right? You got to execute. And again, going back to BC, I think if they execute against this tough team, they get those tough yards. And they're able to move the football a little bit. It's I think they'll be fine, but it is going to be a tough game. This is not a Boston College team that lies down and lets you walk all over them. So it's
I'm excited to see Fletcher running again. I thought he finally kind of took that next step. I know he's had big games, but last week was where he showed that second level ability.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons our offense has had such, and actually obviously this wasn't the case last week, but before that had such low point totals is we're not generating explosive plays. And he's been good this year for sure. He's been getting those 6, 7, 8 yards and grinding drives out. He showed that next level ability last week. He had a couple of really long runs. Obviously the one that he got tackled on like the 1 foot liner looked like he scored and they took his touchdown away, but and then he had another big run too where he got to the second level and then was able to make the safety miss and extend the plays out. And that's like the next step in his progression. So I'm excited just to see him tote the raw today and see if he can continue doing that.
And to be honest, it's been such a blessing to have him because you saw again he had four running backs, all very, very good running backs on this team. And they're all hurt, right? Like Don Chaney's a bit banged up. Henry Parrish is obviously not the same. He's still a bit banged up. AJ Allen hasn't seen the field in 2 or 3 weeks.
No, his last play was jumping over that dude on Virginia. Right. Yeah. He got hurt doing that, and we haven't seen him since.
So it's Mark Fletcher carrying the load as a freshman running back is huge. And it just tells me this kid's a real deal, and I think you got something special there for years.
And I think as we kind of start looking ahead to next year, I do think it's really important we get some consistency in terms of, obviously this year injuries mess some things up, but consistencies in terms of rotation, in terms of roles at the running back position, so they're more comfortable knowing when okay, these are the plays I'm in, maybe get a third down back going, that kind of stuff. Just because to me, it's been very hard on our running backs this year with no consistency. Remember, like just randomly AJ Allen got benched against Temple. We just didn't see him. And like, well, what happened there? It's just like
I will tell you this. So with all that, this program, I mean, this running back group, shout out to Coach Harris. I mean, he's every one of them. So I saw the stat the other day. All of the top 3 guys, Fletcher, Chaney, and Parrish have all run for over 450 yards. And then AJ Allen, obviously, he's been a little more banged up, has run for almost 300 yards.
Yeah.
You're talking about a team that's run for 1,700 yards this year. Maybe a little bit more. I got to do the math. It's like 470, 460, 450. And then AJ Allen was like 280. So that equates to somewhere around there, 1,700 yards. That's really big. That's really big.
It is, but the reason and like you said, shout out to Coach Harris and really all these kids for staying ready. Because it's hard to do that, but I don't think we made it easy on them by not having defined roles here. Because there have been several games where we start with one guy, he doesn't have it, then we're like going to the bench. It's just like part of that's just like there's no consistency in roles on this team. And again, this is all developmental at this phase of the program building, so it's fine. But again, I think it helps to have a running back like this guy's the man. He's going to get the carries, and then other people have to just deal with that. Right. You're not going to make everyone happy.
That's true.
And it looks like Fletcher is stepping up to be that guy.
I agree. It's fun to watch. It's definitely fun to watch.
Still got Citizen coming back, hopefully.
Oh my God, if he's a real
he's a different type of back, so he's someone we can do hopefully some creative.
If he's a real deal, then you're dangerous because then you got Chris Johnson as well, who's who's coming back. You got Kevin Riley coming in.
I mean, look, all these backs are not going to be here next year. Let's just be real.
Yeah, there might be a few.
There's going to be some hit in the portal.
I can probably tell you a few that might not. But and some that are graduating. I think Parrish is graduating anyways, right?
Yeah, so, I think so. Yeah.
But anyways, either way, you can see that there's development there and there's talent there. So I'm not too worried about that. I expect them to do a lot today. I expect that running game to be.
Yeah, I know that's going to be where we're going to probably lean. Yeah.
Yep. What do you think? What do you got score wise on this game?
I mean, I can't deviate from what I said on the show earlier this week, so I'll go 24-14 Miami.
Oh, 24-14. Okay, that's right. I didn't catch the show this week.
Jazz has been slightly busy. So.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm gonna go. I'll go again. I'll go 28 to 28-13 Miami. I'll go
28-13. You said?
Yeah, 28-13 right. Miami. I think
it'd be a good strong finish. We'd like to see a win to end this season out.
That would be fun. I'm done with the 30-pointers because
we got 31 last week.
But still
31 last week and it wasn't enough. Unbelievable. This team's just snake fit this year.
Should be fun. By the way, guys, make sure you keep it locked here on whether it's the Six Ring Canes show on YouTube, on the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel, but also on podcast form. We'll have some special content throughout the year for football, basketball, baseball's coming up soon, so we'll have I know some people have been asking about that on Twitter. We'll have a big time baseball show as soon as we wrap up this season. We'll try to get something done.
For sure.
Before the end of the year, if not early next year. So obviously next year is a month away, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Everybody can wait a little bit, but we've got a lot of content coming for you guys from all phases, all sports. So make sure you keep it locked here and check us out.
Yeah, we're still looking for a name for the baseball coverage. We have some good suggestions already,
we do.
but send it to 6 Rings Kane on Twitter if you got any suggestions for a baseball coverage, a name for it.
Right. That is right. No post-game show today, but Miami takes on Boston College at 12 p.m. on ABC. So
and if you're heading out to the Watsco at 4, the women are playing. I'll be out there, so stop by and say hi.
The game's at 4 or 4:45?
The game's at 4. That's why, right when this thing's over, I'm hit. That's why I was like, can't do post-game. I gotta hit it. Head straight over there. But
make sure you guys go support the women's basketball team. They're pretty damn good too. So and so are the men. They take on Kentucky on Tuesday. So I'm sure you got you and the crew and buckets over there will have.
Yeah, I'll be at that game. Then we'll do post game too. So
Nice. Aside from that, it's been fun this year.
Man.
Let's end on
Can't
top.
believe this is it, dude. This is it.
We
still got a bowl game, so this year we are making a bowl game this year.
But I'll tell you what, if one of the top quarterbacks play, I'll try to make it to the game as long as it's not in California or any crazy crap.
I mean,
you know,
if it's, I'll say this, I'll be down in Miami in December. If it's drivable, I'll drive to it.
Yeah, if it's
I'm
Orlando,
not getting on a plane for that.
Jacksonville, maybe I'll make the trip. You know, if it's in the Bahamas, maybe Sheena want to go to the Bahamas.
I mean, the Bahamas is an interesting vacation shot there. So
yeah, right.
Yeah,
we can take a boat there, man. I got a friend with a boat. We'll take it over there.
Take a boat.
Oh man,
We'll take Coach Meyer's boat, maybe.
Oh, I bet she'll let me. She'll take us over.
We gotta do a buckets show from the boat.
Yeah. Oh wow, that would be pretty.
Because she called it. The show's named after her boat. So
right.
So we gotta do buckets from buckets. I mean, I don't see how we can avoid that.
Let's do it. We'll see you guys soon, but
Go
make
Canes.
sure you keep it locked and hopefully we come out with a W. Go Canes. We'll see you guys.
The 6 Rig Kane Show. Yeah. The 6 Rig Kane Show. Yeah. The 6 Rings Kane Show. You know.